right, hello, and thank you for joining us for another Pipeline Executive Spotlight. I'm here with James D. Taylor of Bluebird Networks. Welcome, James.
Hey, thank you, Scott. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. First year at INCOMPAS, or you guys been coming for?
Oh no, I'm a veteran of INCOMPAS.
Yeah, INCOMPAS veteran.
CompTel before that.
That's right. How's the show going for you this year?
It's going well. We always see the right people that we need to see at these shows, so they're very valuable to our team. Getting everybody into one location so we can discuss our mutual opportunities.
And you've been working with a lot of carriers regionally and helping them expand into rural areas since about 2011. So I imagine this is a really good forum for you to actually come and meet with some of those operators and even probably enterprises that are looking for that extension back into the metropolitan area.
Absolutely. The communities that want to remain vibrant, a lot of times they attract a large employer that needs that bandwidth connectivity to connect to the internet, connect to their other operations, connect to their corporate headquarters. We like to provide that infrastructure to allow those companies to continue to thrive even in that rural environment. So very important to support those local communities with the technology capabilities.
So tell me a little bit about the technology piece. So what in addition to the connection, what are you providing?
Well, I think primarily we provide network transport, which is that connectivity back to major hubs for long-haul transport. Also, just dedicated internet. So we provide internet to our customers from tier 1 providers that provide the service to us, and we wholesale it out to other companies and enterprise customers as well.
So give me an example of some of your customers.
Well, I think some of our larger customers for the carrier side would be all the wireless companies. We construct fiber to wireless towers to enable 4G and soon to be 5G services. But we also provide fiber connectivity to hospitals, schools out in the rural areas, government institutions, and then the large to medium enterprise customers as well.
It's critically important. I know the federal government's been putting a lot of investment into broadband expansion into rural areas, connecting those classrooms.
Right.
What is Bluebird seeing, the result of that be? Because that was put in place, 2011, I believe, some of those incentive programs.
Right.
And you guys have been on the forefront of that. So, tell me a little bit about how that's evolved.
Well, I think in Missouri especially, we have a great relationship with MoreNet, which is the Missouri Research and Education Network. They provide not only the connection to the internet for those schools, but also the broadband support, technical support, technicians that schools can't hire, on their own. So they provide that support to enable the schools to operate at the high level. And as you've seen, the schools, they either provide iPads or Chromebooks out to their students. That need for bandwidth has just grown exponentially.
Yeah, it's amazing how technologically advanced classrooms have become. And most of the workshops, worksheets, even quizzes and tests are online now. They need that bandwidth, and the teacher's really taking kind of a supervisory instructional role,
right,
while the computer and the connectivity to a platform is actually providing a lot of the testing and the metrics.
Absolutely. So, we want to continue as that continues to evolve and change. More bandwidth is needed. You're getting into areas where you have remote classrooms, so video requires even more bandwidth. Sure. So we expect those needs to continue to increase.
Have you seen that on the university side, online classes, remote education? Have you seen an uptick in that recently?
I think yes, and I think we'll continue to see that. I think we've even spoken to a couple universities about their remote areas where they have ag research centers, getting their data back to the main center, or having a remote classroom out in the field.
IoT type of application where
IoT is coming down the pipe, and with a lot of the development in IoT in the agriculture area, or even self-driving cars,
Right.
or self-driving or drones or whatever needs to be supported through those efforts. We're seeing the interest peaking in the applications.
Let's talk a little bit about that evolution between 4G and 5G services. How are you helping contend with that transition? And what does that look like from your perspective?
Yeah, and I think it's that continued expansion of the fiber network. One of my other colleagues had said something like, "Well, fiber to the location is 6G. That's what you really need. 4G and 5G are other pieces of it. In rural America, I think they would like to see complete coverage of 4G first. Let's have the coverage there first, because 5G is really about densification of very highly populated areas, and that's where a lot of the people are. That's where the customer base is, and that's where the wireless providers want to provide 5G. We're going to continue to support that in the more densely populated areas, and all the wireless carriers are going to continue to roll out 4G and try to cover a tighter blanket over those rural areas so they have full coverage.
Yeah, and
that's
amazing to see the progression in technology.
Yes.
One of our crew members today took a self-driving car lift over here this morning. So it's actually becoming a reality, which is really cool to see. But something I know you've seen is just the pace of change and how that's continuing to pick up.
Yes, it's we expect that to continue, and we're going to continue to build our fiber network out to meet those needs.
So tell me a little bit about your expansion plans.
Well, we've identified some of our top 25 markets or cities that we feel that we need to continue to densify our fiber relationship there, and we've identified some strategic routes that we want to overbuild. Some of those we've publicized, some of them we're holding off on.
Right.
But around St. Louis, you have some of the outer regions of St. Louis Metro that are really growing, for business customers, and we've identified some of those locations to build fiber out to meet those needs.
Now, you're saying overbuilding, is that for redundancy purposes, for fail-safe, or is it for just pure capacity?
It's for
all the above.
Densification, yeah, absolutely, and I think in a lot of those cases you're continuing to that spider web of coverage. One leg is not going to take care of everyone. You have to overbuild it and then provide some redundancy in some cases to make sure, hey, I have a fiber cut in one location, it doesn't take out the entire network. So trying to do all those things as we build out our network to provide that ubiquitous coverage.
You've recently made an announcement about some expansions, both your facility and in Missouri. Can you tell me about that?
Our underground data center, Bluebird Underground. It's in Springfield, Missouri. It's in a limestone mine, so it's 85 feet underground. They did a great job of getting that off the ground, so much that by 2009 it was completely full. So without a bond issue to expand it, they were really kind of stuck in this full capacity mode. So in 2014, they had solicited some buyers, and we were interested, and so we came to an agreement to purchase the facility from them. And since we've done one expansion, just starting on the second expansion. The great thing about being underground, that's in Tornado Alley. I think we, from Oklahoma, southern Kansas, up into Missouri, it's a great fortification for disaster recovery sites. But also being in a mine, there's a controlled climate as well. So the year-round temperature is about 64 to 68 degrees, which also saves on your cooling costs. And we pass that on to customers in that they can either do metered, they only pay for the power that they use, or they can pay for block power, which is more easy to budget.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a more secure location than inside a solid limestone rock. You know, especially when you're in the middle of Tornado Alley.
Right.
So,
right.
Do you find that there are a lot of operators who are doing redundant data backups in your facility just for that purpose, or enterprises because of the secure location?
Yes, and you know, we have healthcare, we have financial institutions, government entities that are all doing secure backup.
And you can read more about this in the November issue of Pipeline.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bluebird will be featured there.
Yeah, it's great. And we're excited about our relationship with Pipeline, and you guys do a great job, and we appreciate all the exposure.
Yeah, likewise, we'll help you get the word out there and continue to help you to get the word out there.
Absolutely.
So thanks a lot for joining us today.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks to all of you for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.